Hello, and welcome to another episode of You Don't Even Know. I am Justin Brainerd, joined by Josiah Brainerd and Jordan Brainerd. Today, we will be talking about things you don't even know. Today, we will be talking about when can you let a fart go? Josiah, Jordan, do you have any thoughts on what the correct time to break wind would be?
It really depends
time?
on location for me.
Well, obviously, it's not necessary. This question probably isn't mostly about time of the day.
Sure, but what's the most obviously it's not right after breakfast. That's it. That's butter. But the whole
Oh my gosh! Like first bite of my it's that sweet CTC, which is cinnamon toast crunch for you normies out there.
Mm-hmm.
First bite, just rip a big old fart right into the microphone. Sweet fart. So that's when I like to do it.
I really prefer when right when you go to bed and you're still underneath the covers. Yeah, and that way you can shoot it just into the mattress or something, or just not into the open air.
Or you're in bed, you're laying down, you're under the covers, and you bring your knees up to create that little like air pocket, and then you like do your business farting into the air pocket, and then just kind of lean over towards your wife and like lift up the covers a little bit in her direction to make like a channel, and then like let your knees go, and then that whole pocket just gets forced through your channel right into your wife's nostrils, and then she throws up all over the place. It's really good.
Oh, okay.
My wife really appreciates that.
Thank you, Josiah, for that very sincere answer. What would be the least appropriate time?
Well, I don't think we've properly discovered the best time, but whatever.
The least appropriate
time.
Like at your own mother's wedding, like while you're giving the best man speech, or like what would be the
Wouldn't
most
it be like a best
unfortunate
son speech?
Yeah.
or something? Yeah, like if
At my
you're
mother's wedding to another man.
the least appropriate time in your life that you could possibly imagine, like at your own wedding.
Like,
here you go, as you're accepting your wife's hand from her father.
Do you just rip
let,
that big
let a
one?
huge one go.
Just let it out.
I think a really appropriate time though is like at theme parks in line.
Oh yeah, that's
When
the
it's
best.
just like packed at
And
Disneyland.
you just don't even know
Oh,
who it
the
is.
anonymous.
Oh yeah. And you're just like, oh, it's so easy
And
to
then
do
it
this.
could be
You just gotta
anyone.
be the second guy to start looking around.
Yeah. Because if you're the first guy, then it's like, oh yeah, that's you.
That guy.
Yeah.
If you're the second guy, you're like, oh, you're just one of the crowd, because at that point, everybody's looking around.
Yeah, because everyone knows somebody let this giant.
Somebody did it.
Because you
giant fart
definitely have like the vape cloud that just
Yeah.
kind of follows you around. Like
But
even,
there's so many people just packed right around you. It's totally fine.
I wonder if they make smart. Whoa, smart. That was supposed to be fart right there. I wonder if they make
I wonder if they make fart clothing.
smelling vape.
Fart smelling vape.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Because they make like scented vapes.
Yeah. My one of the kids at a party I was at the other day was walking around with like jelly beans, and she hands me one, and it literally tasted like butt. She was like,
She gave
and
you
then
the
she,
butt
When was
jelly
this?
beans.
yeah, I was at dinner last night, and my wife's sister walks up to me with a jelly bean and
Oh,
says,
gosh.
"Try this. It's either peach or barf." and it
I
wasn't
love
peach
those
at all.
jelly beans.
I hate
have
peach.
those in my
Peach
desk at work.
is the most terrible flavor of Jolly Rancher ever. But the barf jelly bean was like eating.
Is that worse than peach?
It was slightly worse than peach. It was a tiny bit more acrid than just a peach fruit.
But tasted better than grape.
Yeah.
Anything's better than
No.
grape.
No, grape's actually not that bad. I would take grape over cherry right now.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Cherry's the artificial cherry flavor.
Oh, yeah. Dimetap.
It's like the most saccharine,
Dimetap's
overly
great.
sweet.
You're thinking about Robitussin.
Oh, Robitussin.
Robitussin.
Were we just talking about farts?
Yeah. That's
Oh.
where we came from.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you
I was
talked
just- I
about
was
jelly
just-
beans.
Okay, no. So
Well, then we talked about vaping for a half a second.
Yeah.
But anyway. Trying to think of like another really inappropriate time to rip one.
yeah, personal experience.
Oh my gosh, personal worst fart story of your life. That's hard for me because I'm not really embarrassed about my flatulence. I just I let it go like pretty much at any time. I'll just like open the flood cut. Pretty much at any time I'll just open the floodgates and just like let it out, and I don't even care because I'm already married with children, so I'm like, whatever. I don't care what other people think of me.
You know, I've actually had the when I have company over, I've found that the crack between the couch and the footstool is the best place, and it like squeegees it out of your jeans and everything. Like that's literally the best fart bank I've ever found in my life.
So when you're sitting on your couch and you have a fart coming, you kind of inch your way down.
Yeah,
to
like
the,
shimmy
between the footstool and the couch.
Over here, guys.
Yeah. Oh, what's Justin doing? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
He's just farting.
hey.
Yeah, a really bad
'cause-
time for me. I just thought of this one. I was in the office at my work, and I kind of share an office with usually 2, sometimes 3 other people, depending on the day. And
are any of them bothered by your farts more than others?
well, I don't usually just like rip them in the office when they're like, I don't like make them loud in the office, but if they're like, silent ones, I'll like let it out. But one day I had like real stinky ones. Like they were big stinkers, and I let it out when nobody was in there. I was like, I let a big one out, and I smell it. I was like, oh my goodness, that's the stinkiest fart I've had in a long time. And then one of my coworkers walks in to my death cloud, and he did not say anything, but
His face just kind of turned.
his face turned, and then he turned and walked right on back out.
And just kind of left.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, I guess I have the office to myself a little longer. That's
So
nice.
that it's like a privacy. It's like
a
a cubicle.
privacy screen. Really,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
So was that an inappropriate time or the most appropriate time to?
I guess it depends on your needs.
You got the office to yourself. You
Yeah.
got what you wanted.
If I need to make a real nice private phone call, just rip a big old fat one, and then just make your phone call. You'll evacuate the office pretty quickly.
and the person on the phone can't even tell, even if you're on a video phone.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's
that-
no smell vision yet.
yeah, that's the one thing that you
That's-
could do that's completely invisible and inaudible.
Yep.
They don't make noise at all.
Yep.
So you could just leave it there. Everybody else clears, and then you have the place to yourself.
Yep.
Now, I share the two. I share an office with 2 office mates / men / women,
Okay.
and
Anamorphous blobs as usual.
yeah, and I don't really know them. I don't have that level of a relationship with them yet that I
What
can just
pronouns do they use to identify themselves?
well, they identify themselves as men, but
Oh, okay.
if you can't fart around them, they're not other men.
Okay.
At the end,
Cool.
scientific fact.
But what if you can?
That's the gender
if you-
checker squeaker. Is
So if you can fart around someone, they're a man?
yes.
Interesting.
Mhm.
We'll round back to that one in a minute, but
Okay.
continue.
And, I let one out when they were both at a meeting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and it just like hung in the air. And you're just like waiting, like, what do you do to get it out that won't make you look like an idiot to everybody down the hall? Like, if you're just standing there windmilling your arms, spinning around like a moron, then that's just as bad as the thing that people may or may not smell.
Sometimes when I'm trying to rid my world of a fart that I created, I don't know if this actually helps, but I sit there and I breathe in and out a lot and try to like use up all the stink, basically.
So you're using your own body as like you're basically eating your own.
You're Bear
Yes.
Grylls-ing your fart.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're recycling
Yeah.
it for nourishment.
Yep.
Has it ever worked? Did you ever like skip lunch when you did that?
I don't know. I mean, it definitely doesn't fill me with the nourishment, but I still believe to this day that it helps like use up all the smell and like makes it go away faster.
And to be totally honest, I actually hate. You know how some people light a match to get the smell of the fart out of
I
the room.
prefer the smell of my farts.
I prefer the fart smell. Like my wife will light a match and start like getting it all in there, and it smells like sulfur and burning and death. Oh, I hate it. I'm like, just leave it. It's fine. Ugh. And then there's always like the smoke patch on the ceiling where the candle was. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
What about the farts that weren't a fart.
I don't even know what that means.
That's
Continue.
never happened to me except
No.
for twice.
They turned into additional.
So the email had an attachment.
Yes. And then you open the attachment and
I believe
it was
the
a
word you're
virus.
looking for is sharting.
Yes. What about those times?
Brap.
We could talk about WikiHow and what it says about farting. Minimize the smell and sound and smell of your fart. Release the fart slowly. Step 1. Cough loudly or make a loud noise to distract from your fart.
Does the loud noise distract from the acrid stink that's gonna kill everybody in the room? Sorry, that's my cough. I have halitosis. I need to brush my teeth once every couple years. So
Another method, walk as you fart. So you're just tooting along the hallway.
But that doesn't actually hide it.
yeah, and people
No,
can
you're
trace
just-
it back to you. And
Yeah,
even
but-
if you're walking across the office and you're going like brrr, brrr,
It's the Doppler effect farting.
Unless you're like walking with a bunch of people.
No, yeah, there's no way that everybody isn't going to just stop what they're talking about and be like, turn and stare at you. Like,
In the picture
Oh,
on
hello.
WikiHow, it's this guy walking through a lonely hallway to
Yeah.
some random door, and he's looking at his fart like, what am I doing?
oh,
Why am I doing this to everyone?
Gosh, WikiHow has the weirdest illustrations.
yeah. Then he's like, whoa,
He says-
how did you get here?
Another suggestion, leave the room or area.
Go to the bathroom.
And it's this girl walking out of the party all ashamed. Like,
Yeah.
I have to leave because I ate bad.
Did she just?
to leave because I have to pass a flatulence.
Spray air freshener. That's in step 5.
That's the
Oh,
most
that-
obvious one.
That never works.
No.
And then you just walk into like this mist of like potpourri butt. Like that's never helped even in a bathroom with a fart fan. That's never saved anybody from incrimination ever.
That was just method 1 of how to not have a fart smell bad.
That was all method 1.
That was all method.
Oh.
Method 2, adjusting your diet to reduce gas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, don't eat. That would be one.
Soak your beans before you eat them to
Soak
prevent
your beans.
flatulent.
Who has ever soaked their beans and been like, I don't want to have a toot toot. So I'm just
less after these beans.
I want to have wet beans. Do you even
What?
cook them? Like, do you
Do you just like eat some dry raw beans?
yeah.
Like, is that how?
How about don't eat beans?
That'd be a
Doesn't say
better
that. Just says soak your beans.
Soak. Just make sure that you have wet
The
beans.
next step is eat less gas-causing vegetables and fruits.
Yeah, like broccoli and cabbage.
That's pretty vague.
yeah, gas causing.
Yeah.
It doesn't even specify. So no vegetables, Josiah.
Yep. No vegetables.
They
and
might
also
cause gas.
No
Cut
fruit.
down on dairy products like
yeah,
milk and
no
cheese.
dairy.
Well,
so
for
no
me-
vegetables, no dairy. Let me guess. No meat's going to be
Well,
next.
they already said no fruit.
No soda. Reduce your consumption
Oh my
of
gosh,
carbonated
this
drinks.
is literally gonna kill me.
It's literally saying don't eat. So
Like,
what
just
can
don't eat
you?
No, there's
you-
a big like exclamation point and like a warning sign over like a Coke can, but it's not Coke.
Yeah.
And then
It's
it's
just
like
you
and
know,
then there's an
a
arrow
red
pointed towards a
can.
glass
Yeah.
of water. Like, this is better.
Yeah. Don't drink Shasta Cola. Don't drink RC Cola.
Cut
Drink
down on your
water.
alcohol consumption.
Wow.
Okay, Yep. That.
If you're a drunk, yeah, you're not going to
Yeah.
care about your gas.
Yeah. That's pretty much when you're wasted. You're not worried that you might accidentally
Chew your food slowly when you eat.
chewing slowly.
We're into method 3 now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is literally worse than like balanced your chakras.
Avoid
for-
chewing
this is-
gum and sucking on candy. There's like
how is
there's a
chewing
hand
gum
slapping
going to make
another
you
hand away.
have bad gas?
Avoid smoking. Cut down on smoking.
This is just every bad habit. This
Yeah.
is like don't eat vegetables, fruit, candy, soda. Like this is how not to get acne list on the fart page.
Because vegetables give you acne.
Yeah. And meat, like they're saying don't eat, don't wear clothes, don't be around people, don't chew gum. Like what's left after they're done
Crop
with
dust
this list?
the whole office. That was one of it.
Okay, so just distribute it evenly in even small amounts all
Leave
over.
the party. Don't even go to the party if you have kids.
Don't have friends.
Yep.
Well, like
Don't-
if I have a milkshake, like I did about 10 minutes before we started recording this podcast, oh boy, am I in for it in about half an hour?
Oh yeah.
Because I am an undiagnosed, self-diagnosed
WebMD.
Laxmos. You have Laxmos,
I am a laxmus.
which
a
is
new
what gives you
dinosaur?
gas. You need to cut down on your Laxmus if you don't want to have gas.
That's method 4.
That's
yeah.
what on WikiHow. That's
I also need to go balance my chakra a little bit.
yeah. Your body's too acidic. You need to make it
No,
more
it's
alkaline.
way too alkaline right now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You had
Well,
way
yeah,
too
'cause
many
of all the
batteries for
bases, yeah.
dinner.
Oh gosh. I was just chowing down on those D's.
So
Wait, what?
batteries, Jordan.
Batteries.
Batteries.
The batteries. Not the batteries.
Is that how to fix it, Jordan? So basically, stay at home, die alone, have no food or anything to drink. And
you could drink some water?
Yeah. So have you guys ever heard of a breatharian?
Breatharian.
Is that what changes the smell of your farts?
No. A breatharian is literally a religion where people believe that they could transition away from food and water and live off of air and sunlight.
How long do they live?
So they want to like be a plant?
Yes, but this is a serious religion that people aren't kidding about, and they've been sent to the hospital multiple times because they were starving themselves to death.
I guess they're just doing it wrong.
They were drinking water, and they'd given up food, and then they were slowly transitioning into just drinking water and air and sunlight, and they were starving to death, and they were dying. So
Well, yeah,
that's what this
we need
anti-fart list is. So breatharians would never have a fart because they're just trying to live off of air
So
and
fun
sunlight.
fact of the day, breatharians run WikiHow.
Yeah.
Secretly.
Mm-hmm.
In the comments
Okay. I love it. I
from a
love comments.
WikiHow contributor,
Love
it
it.
says, when we eat, we also swallow air, which
So-
produces some gas.
So don't. Okay. So
don't even
breathing swallows air. So
you
don't
cannot
breathe.
swallow air.
Don't swallow air. So literally, this WikiHow is saying drop dead and you won't have gas anymore.
Except that one just massive
my
unload.
Pro tip for not having gas would be burp more. Don't be embarrassed about
Oh,
burping.
yes.
Like just do the burp because
Yeah.
if you don't burp that same gas you're gonna burp out, it's just gonna go be a stinky fart later.
Gotta go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
Laws of
your body
nature.
doesn't just like absorb the oxygen molecules into the
Yeah. And
like,
technically,
your
since
intestine wall.
since your mouth is just like the top of your butt, then it's the least bad end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'cause-
the fresh food.
Yeah.
It's not
I mean,
all-
you're either gonna smell.
I would
some
consider
Cheetos
everything in your
or
stomach to be
some
fresh still.
Poos.
Yeah. These are things you didn't even know. For our second you don't even know segment, we'll be talking about mispronounced words.
Oh, boy.
Josiah, have you ever heard somebody mispronounce a word?
Oh my gosh, this is gonna trigger me like so bad.
And we're not even talking about mispronounced words from people from different cultures or somebody mispronouncing Spanish. That's not what we're talking about
No.
because
That's reasonable.
Yeah, we can't speak Spanish worth a darn, and I don't expect other people to be able to speak without an accent if it's not your first language. This is people that have spoken English since the day they were born.
Well, that's pretty impressive. First of all,
Babies
Speaking
just
English?
coming out, yelling in English.
Oh, the first day they were
they were born.
That would
speaking
actually be
English.
really cool. That
Yeah.
would be a really, and even if you mispronounced it, I would be impressed.
Yep,
I'm pretty sure that would be a genius baby.
pure genius.
Yeah. Like for instance, Josiah, I'll give you an example.
Hit me.
This is one that I've lived with since the days of my youth. Is when instead of saying wolf, people will say woof. There's a woof over there, and I think I've even seen that in movies when like a little kid will come tumbling down the hill and say,
The wolf's chasing me.
the wolf's gonna eat Lassie, or so
Oh my gosh, there's an L.
there,
It's in the word. Like
it's written right there.
wolf. Wolf. I mean, I don't want to say it too many times because if you say a word too many times, it starts sounding funny. So, but
But
anyway,
it's
oh
not,
my god,
it's not even kids.
There's
It's like
adults that say
grown
this wrong.
adults.
Like adult people say, "Hey, let's go to the zoo and look at some wolves."
Bring up another one. What's another good word?
Yeah, hit me again.
Okay, here's another one. Is instead of saying across, people will say across. Have you ever lived through that one?
How do we get there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have to go across the lake.
There's not a T.
Oh.
Let's all spell it together. Ready? A. You guys, come on. A C R O S S
T.
Nope. Nope. That one isn't there.
I forgot.
Yep. You got to remember that. That's a hard one. I know.
Okay, so that but
Oh my gosh.
but that would mean that some people pronouncing and like ant and then Josiah and then I left my house.
Gosh, this segment is making me so mad inside.
What's one that you've heard, Jordan? You've never heard somebody mispronounce a word? Josiah?
Oh my gosh, when my wife used to do this one. Both.
Both?
Both.
I'm going to have both a Coke and a Pepsi.
It just sounds.
I like both.
It just sounds bigger when you say it like that, and really dumb.
Yeah,
it's just like let's add a bunch of O's to this word.
But the original spelling looks like both.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but it's. I mean, I don't care how this one is spelled.
Like, do you want to go over there and both them?
Well, you just need like an E after that O, so it gets real hard.
We need both.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Now, you're gonna go take a bath.
Okay, so honest to goodness, do you guys pronounce it GIF or Jiff?
I pronounce it like it's supposed to be pronounced.
GIF.
Which is GIF. Because it has a G, not a J.
I've actually heard somebody over the age of 50 pronounce it Jiff, but I have not heard any 20-something ever say a GIF.
I've heard lots of 20-somethings say a GIF. I actually had an argument with a bunch of college students about it being GIF or GIF. And about half of them said it was GIF, and then somebody spouted off. I never looked this up to see if it was true, but somebody spouted off. The creator of the GIF actually said it was pronounced GIF. And I'm like, well, then he doesn't know how to use the English letters
He did it during an award ceremony, like all big. He's like, it's pronounced Jiff. I'm like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's a
if
G.
If it was pronounced Jiff, use a J. You know that peanut butter? Jiffy? It's not spelled G-I-F-F-Y.
Actually, a peanut butter called Jiff. It's not Jiffy.
Whatever.
It's just Jiff.
You're thinking of Jiffy Lube or something.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Just Jiff.
Any of those words
Any
are spelled
of the
with a
GIFs.
J.
Yeah.
Anything that says Jiff, Jiffy. Jiffy Lube or Jiff peanut butter.
Yeah, but what about
or
Jeff?
Jiffy Pop?
Jeff with a G. There's G.
That's Geff.
Yeah, that's Geff.
That's definitely Geff.
There's Jeffs that spell it with a G.
That's a name. That is you could say my name is Josiah, spelled XYZ double P, the letter 7 and the number Q. You can do whatever the heck you want with
Josiah,
your own name.
and you're Jesden.
Juzdin. Justin.
So you don't think even though the person that made it said everybody say it this way?
It doesn't matter.
I think he was trying to kick back on the GIF. Like he was trying to make it more popular again.
Yeah, he was just trying to...
He was just reigniting the flames.
Yeah, haters gonna hate.
Like we had finally settled it all across the internet. And then he's like,
no. Keep arguing about my thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
talk about me.
It really gets me on.
He was fighting for...
when people argue about my thing.
It's GIF.
It's GIF.
Yeah. One of the other words that I've heard come up more than once is asterisk being pronounced asterisk, which I'm not even sure. And apparently a lot of these mispronunciations are handed around, just like how different regions of people say pop instead of soda, or the whole Atlanta area.
Everything is Coke.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take a Pepsi Coke.
I'll have a Pepsi Coke, please. Yeah, you could go, if you go to downtown Atlanta, or I'm not even sure if you could get a Pepsi in Atlanta. That'd be like...
Can I have one of those Mountain Dew Cokes?
Yeah. That would be like a Jehovah's Witness going to get to Utah.
Thank you.
If you ordered a Pepsi, would you have to say Pepsi Coke since they're
that's
called
what
Cokes?
They say. Everything is Coke, and they would actually say out of their mouth hole, they would say, "Can I have a Pepsi Coke,
please?"
Just because Coke is made there.
Yeah.
No, it's just because everything is Coke. They like, "Can I have a Sprite Coke?"
That's where Coke is from, Jordan.
That's what I was saying.
Okay. Yeah. So
but that's not even why. It's just like
it is, because it's genericide, and they literally took over the
genocide.
Word. They've changed the entire word to mean their product, like how we say Kleenex instead of just
Puffs.
Yeah, instead of medicated
facial tissues.
Yeah. Except now instead of saying soda, they just say Coke
instead of pop.
Yeah. So now,
or
so
soda.
can I have a Mountain Dew Coke?
Yeah.
Which would be so odd because it's not even like what would you do if you're the barkeep?
I would hand them a Mountain Dew and a Coke mix.
Have this nasty
That's
soda.
what they asked for.
A brown dew. A stinky dew. Speaking of farts.
You shake it up in front of them.
Yeah.
Get it all decarbonated.
Mhm.
Here's your-
Put it in the microwave, warm it up for me.
Oh.
Here you go.
Here you go. This is what you asked for.
Yep. You asked for this.
yeah.
What about words like irregardless?
That's not a mispronunciation. That's not
just
a word.
stupidity.
Why do yeah?
That's somebody telling you that you don't want to talk to them anymore.
Irregardless of
they're
that.
making
I'm
sure
done.
you know.
I'm
Yep,
done.
I'm done.
Yeah, bye.
I'm
Walking
going
away.
home.
Yeah, they're inviting you to exit the conversation lest you actually make friends with them.
You don't even have to fart in that conversation. You just leave.
Could you fart in that conversation? I think that's basically what they've already done to you. But
I think we just solved it.
I think we
That's
just
the
solved
best
it, yeah.
time to
The
fart
be-
in the conversation.
That is the only
world.
time to fart.
is when somebody uses an idiotic word like irregardless. Sorry, I just head farted.
That was him burping, so he didn't have to fart.
Yep.
As soon as somebody uses that, I think that should be like the conversation killer is just to light one off and everybody just scatters. I gotta go.
What?
So next week I'm gonna put some new shingles up on my roof.
On my
Roof.
On your dog?
Nope. The roof of my house.
on your house's roof.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's uneven or does that mean it's
No, I just it's leaky, so I gotta
put some shingles on it?
on my roof.
Do you have to put some shingles on the roof of your library?
Oh my gosh, Lib. I found one.
Oh gosh.
Library is
Yeah.
so tough.
There's quite a few of these that are like
really
when
bad.
somebody says human.
Ugh.
Or this all of us are humans, so we all need to. And I'm like, don't even tell
There
me.
is an H. I know the H gets abused a lot in words.
All right, I actually
randomly
saw
brought up.
on what was it, Teen Mom 2 or something? Yeah.
What?
So I was watching Teen Mom 2.
The best show in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, that's. I'm really expecting some great grammar now.
From a 14-year-old.
Yeah. Well, she was 16. So,
Okay.
yeah. And this was her second kid.
Oh.
And she was on her way to prom.
Yeah. So she's on her way to prom and her water breaks. Who were the parents?
Oh gosh.
So she said, I have a headache instead of a headache. And the cameraman stops and they're given instructions not to interfere in their contracts. They're told specifically, do not interact, only tape them. And he stops what he's doing. He quiets her down. He says, shh, 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 shh. What? Yeah, I have a headache. Can I have some medicine for my headache? And he's like, it's headache. And she said, I can't say that word. And
What?
she said, head ick.
Oh my gosh, this just reminded me of
This is the Cool Whip all over again.
worst one that I've ever heard in my whole life. So I knew a female who came up to me and asked, "Hey, do you have any hand sanitizer?"
No, she did not.
No.
Sanitizer.
Sanitizer, not sanitizer. Sanitizer.
Was she having a stroke?
No, she
How did-
actually says it that way.
And she said it like
stopped-
twice?
I did that thing. I stopped. I said, "Excuse me, what?" And
What
she
are you
said,
looking for?
Some hand sanitizer. My hands,
Oh.
they have germs on them. Some
Oh.
germs.
Some germs.
Gosh, that one got me going. That went on for months.
What do you guys say for the icy kind of... It's like ice cream, but it's all the way to the left.
Like a Slurpee?
No. It's all the way to the left, and it's very colorful. I'm not going to say the word, because I
Like-
want to see what you guys say.
Like a frozen yogurt?
No. It's in the buckets.
Like a Neapolitan.
No. You're not getting it. Starts with an S. We'll go with that.
Slurpee. Sherbet.
Yeah.
Sorbet.
No. Is it sherbet or sherbet?
Sherbet is not a thing. Sherbet doesn't exist. We're on the wrong coast for sherbet.
Sherbet.
Yeah, we're
I
not.
feel like sherbet is just how like a really old person would say it.
Hey,
Yeah.
you want to go get some sherbet?
Let's go over to Thrifty's and get some sherbet.
Like nobody that's ever Googled anything has said sherbet. If you have an iPhone, you have not sherbeted ever in your life.
I wonder if Siri can pick up if you say, like, Siri, where's the nearest sherbet location?
We should actually ask a good digital assistant instead of Siri what...
Instead of Siri.
Yeah, let's ask Google if Google can tell the difference between sherbet and sherbet.
Can I find some sherbet?
Okay, Josiah, here's what I found.
How do you pronounce sherbet?
Here is what I found.
Oh, she's the
No,
worst.
come on, just say it for me. How do you make her say a word that you want her to say?
I don't know.
Siri is absolutely worthless, so...
Say sherbet.
I'm not sure I understand.
Siri can do nothing helpful.
So
Use your
useless.
mouth hole and say the word sherbet.
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that, Josiah.
That's what
You
we're
are the
here for.
worst.
Siri knows less than nothing.
Siri, you don't even know.
Yeah, they literally, Apple took a working digital assistant app, bought it, hit it in the head with a brick, and then released it to the public.
Oh, look at this. This is so cool. It's called Siri. Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is going to be great. This is the future. This is Apple's vision of the future.
This is a nuclear disaster.
Let's
just get
ask
rid
a
of the
simple
headphone
question.
port because of courage.
Yeah,
Because of courage.
and Siri. Let's have a bad digital assistant because of courage. These are the innovations that have that led us forward.
Courage
as a
isn't
society.
an excuse to take away a headphone port.
That's not an excuse to take away features.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Apple.
that's like leaving your sword and shield at the mouth of the cave and then going in to fight the dragon.
Because of
Because
courage.
I have the courage,
guys. I'm
Yeah.
going to do it.
Yeah, let's all do a 40-man Warcraft raid with courage and no gear.
Yeah.
I could see if you made the iPhone as thin as the screen is, and that's it.
yeah. If you actually like made it thinner and
you
got
made-
rid of it,
If you make it see-through, you have an excuse to get rid of a
Yeah,
headphone
if this is
jack.
a clear pane of glass that charges wirelessly,
yeah, go talk to Tony Stark. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
and you could just
Jeez.
flick your data onto the screen or
Well,
in
that
the
already
air.
exists.
It's just
You could just flick it.
AirPlay.
Yeah, just airplane.
You just go like this. You go.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just flicked my phone out of my hands. So
And
that's
broke it. Justin's phone is broken now.
that's the worst way to. And then if you put your thumb on it so you don't throw it away,
You activate all your games.
Yeah,
and
you
then
touch
you're
everything
all
and-
embarrassed at work when all your
Yeah.
games activate.
it looks cooler on screen than it is in actuality. And what happens when they get rid of the home button and it's all just a screen? You won't have anywhere to put your thumb to flick it because it'll just be the pane of glass. It's all click area.
Unless they just add like a hold here area.
hold here.
Yeah. Just like hold it right here. We're not going anywhere.
Don't worry, they'll change that feature and take it away.
So are you? Have you guys thoroughly explained why words are mispronounced? Since
I
we
think
couldn't
so.
even get the dumbest computer in the world to understand.
No, it's supposed to be really smart. It connects to Apple's servers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. All the way in California.
We're in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, then that leads us to our next segment,
What would that be?
Josiah's App of the Week.
Yeah. This week, well, I guess first of all, I should start by saying Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. So last week, I don't even touch it anymore. Haven't opened that app since like 3 days ago. Now it's all about Burrito Bison Lucha Libre. Yes, that's actually the name.
Burrito Bison?
Burrito Bison Lucha Libre.
Is that just a mispronunciation of the real word?
How did
Nope.
that even fit on the app?
What do you do in this Burrito Bison? This isn't Plants vs. Zombies.
Nope, this is not Plants vs. Zombies. This is not a card game like my usual MO. This is Kitty Cannon Round 2.
Kitty Cannon?
Did you ever play Kitty Cannon?
I did not.
Okay, Kitty Cannon was a game on addictinggames.com and I'm sure a bunch of other places.
Oh, yeah.
It was a stupid flash game from the early 2000s that basically you would launch a kitty out of the cannon and he would bounce along the ground until he hit a trap of some kind. You would see how far you could get him. It was mostly luck. This game, it has that same kind of feel. For the most part, you launch a wrestler, a luchador, out of the wrestling ring using the ropes, and he flies down the arena area and squishes gummy bears along his way, and you can kind of touch the screen, and he'll like do a body slam, and you can interact with different like bombs and stuff that help you go farther.
But you
And
haven't touched your
also-
screen for like 10 minutes, and it's still going just fine.
It's kitty cannon.
I'm like really.
You haven't done anything.
I know, but I've been playing this game for like 10 hours now, and I'm like really far through it.
10
So I can like.
I know, but you literally haven't been playing, and
I
the
know.
game is going
I know,
just fine.
but that's again, it has a lot of that kitty cannon aspect that you could just like let it run. But I'm gonna run out of gas here pretty soon.
You're just bouncing
So,
along. It's a bison?
Also, as your here we go. I'm about to die. There we go.
Wow, you finally died for
finally
doing
died.
nothing.
So
you just- you
also
push
collect
fire.
gold. You also collect the gold, and then you can go
How
to
did
your
you-
shop.
How did
and
you collect the
Purchase
gold?
gems. Can you
As you
pay?
squ-
Is there anything to spend real money on? I want
Of
a game you can
course.
spend real money
Of
on.
course, it's a freemium game. Are you kidding?
They're really big in China.
So you can upgrade your little luchador guys using the coins you collect as you're bouncing across the screen. And it kind of has a bit of an RPG aspect. You can upgrade, how much your bounces decelerate you, and how many helper guys are out there, like with holding bombs.
Why would
and
you want to
stuff.
upgrade going slower?
I guess you can upgrade how little you decelerate on each bounce.
Oh, got it.
So it like
That
float.
makes sense. Yep.
So you get like a Princess Peach dress from
Yep.
Mario 2.
It doesn't help you float. It helps you it gives you like less drag.
I see.
You get all oiled up. That's actually what it's called slippery lotion.
Slippery lotion.
Mm-hmm.
On a luchador bison.
Yeah, he's
Yep. He's squishing the gummy bears. This luchador bison is just taking over the world. And then there's like different levels. So you, like for the first 100 meters, you're bouncing along like blue gummy bears. And then you have to smash through like this giant wall of cake. And then there's like yellow gummy bears, and you smash them. And then there's like another giant wall of cake that's harder to smash through.
Does this game make you really hungry all the time?
No.
Oh.
it doesn't make you hungry.
Mm-mm.
Are you hungry all the time now?
Always.
Joe? Okay.
I don't
there's-
like cake.
I only like some cake.
What about gummy bear cake?
I don't like
Cake-
gummy bears.
Cake
Oh.
isn't good.
What about chocolate covered
Mexican
gummy bears?
cake is really good. And flan.
I do enjoy a good flan.
They're good flan.
I only like the sauce on top, the orange sauce. I could just
Or
drink
is it
that with a
flan
straw.
or flan?
It's flan. It's not flan.
I love flan.
No, flan.
Gosh, it just sounds like you're mispronouncing flannel or just not
Yeah.
finishing.
It
It's a new
sounds like
hipster way of saying
It
it.
sounds like you're
Hey, I
coughing
went to
on
Target
a
and I got this new lumberjack style flan.
word. Yeah, totally got a flan.
You got
Josiah,
food?
stop trying to make flan happen.
It's gonna happen. That's now my thing.
So that's your game?
That's my game of the week right there.
Oh my
Let
gosh.
me look and see what it was called again because I can never remember. It is Burrito Bison Launcha Libre.
Well, I'll have to download that and try it. Probably
You're not
never.
gonna.
I'm not going to
download
try
it.
that
Don't
stupid
even
game.
humor me with your.
That's going to be
lies.
terrible.
I hear one of them
I
last
never
week.
played the kitty cannon thing neither.
That was a good game.
Did anybody ever play Worms?
Hear that, everybody? Justin never played the kitty cannon neither.
True.
We've been going over grammar.
I neither did I.
It's okay.
Okay.
Just another thing Justin can hate on. Like
So-
this movie we're going into.
So,
Oh my god.
So now we're going to discuss the next worst movie of all time, which I really believe this one is low-hanging fruit because it has been discussed quite a bit, but I really think that it hasn't been given justice.
It really hasn't been properly beaten up.
I really think it needs one last lashing.
Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 1.
3.
1.
Episode 3.
Okay, look. Star Wars Episode 1,
3.
the worst movie in the entire trilogy, when they released a new watch order for how should you show your kids? How should you tell them about all the movies? And do you show them Episode 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3? Do you show them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? They said the best way to watch the series is to go 4, 5, 2, 3, 6. And they just
Who
they
released
said,
that?
They said, well, no, it was like a big old blog. And
The internet's
fight.
released
Yeah,
it?
the internet's.
It wasn't
all
like
agree-
Lucas saying, like,
You-
here
no,
you
like
go.
The whole internet got together.
You
had
go
a meeting.
4 or 5 to start it in the big giant Luke-centered trilogy that
Yeah.
everybody knows is the best. So you go episode 5, the peak of the entire series. Then you jump straight back when he says, "I'm your father." You jump back to episode 2 and see how he became Darth, because the story of Anakin isn't how he became older Anakin, it's how he became Darth. And episode 1 is just him not even evil. Like, we could infer that his mom died by him saying, "Yeah, my mom died." So you have little baby Anakin running around doing nothing useful.
Showing how many
Yeah.
midichlorians he has.
Yeah, so you have
Look at my midichlorians.
you have Yippee, you have racist Watto, you have all of the Jar Jar in there. He occupies about
Anybody wanna
2/3
listen
of
to
the
some
movie.
Jar Jar?
And there, let's illustrate some episode 1 terribleness. This is all Jar Jar.
Yep. This is him
He's
running
the
right in the
explosions.
beginning of the mini
Yep.
movie, running away from all the
And now we meet him.
helicopters.
Hey,
Yep.
here comes the worst character in all of movie.
Not Liam Neeson. He's saving Jar Jar.
Yeah, good old Rob Roy saving the movie.
Oh, muy, I love you.
Oh my gosh. So here, yeah.
Brainless?
I speak.
The ability to speak does not make
okay,
you
so-
intelligent. Now get out of here.
No,
We have-
Now get out of
Yeah,
here.
we literally have
Thank you, Liam Neeson,
Yeah.
for starting off the movie saying,
go
don't be
away.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Please
first
leave.
instruction from the smartest person on camera was like, go away.
And then Jar Jar's
Please.
response was, no. Misa
Shut up.
called Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
I'm a Jedi.
Yeah. That
Go
was his,
away.
That's his rationale
No,
for
I'm
why
Jar Jar,
he should be
guys.
there. So he literally spends the whole movie screwing it up and ruining everything for everyone, except for the fact that every time he gets a gun stuck on his ankle, he kicks it and headshots a robot. Like, so he does everything wrong, but still manages to fix everything because, unlike the underwater craft that the two Jedi were in to swim through the center of the planet, he can swim just naked underwater in crushing depths. The watercraft on its own was a sin in my mind, just because it was fixed by opening up a console and touching a couple of wires when the whole hull would have been being crushed and had problems. And they're like, no, it's not a software glitch or anything. I just have to touch a couple of wires behind this console and then we're safe.
And then we're set.
Yeah, we're off to the other side of the planet
Good.
to go see the Jar Jar, the fat Jabba the Jar Jar on the other side of the world. And then that's what saves everybody from the coming invasion.
I'm glad Jar Jar was there to save the day.
We have to live through Anakin in the pod race, literally for...
Oh my gosh, I love the pod race.
No, the pod race is 90 minutes of him going like, whoa!
I know, but so Bulba's like throwing grenades at him and stuff. It's like really good.
He's throwing pieces of metal. He's not even throwing grenades. He's just like...
That'd be sweet if he was like, had a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
They did. You didn't see that in the bonus features? He like
Shoot.
so Bulba whips out like a lightsaber that he has from when he killed a Jedi in a pod race.
I just had the VHS. They don't have the bonus
Oh, okay.
feature.
You're missing out.
VHS of the episode
And he just like jumps. He puts in his pod on autopilot, jumps over to Anakin's pod, and like slices one of his fins off of like the little like pod on front.
Oh, shoot.
Jumps back to his pod and then just takes off. And then Anakin has to get out and weld that fin back on mid-race before he can catch up to Sebulba and eventually win. It was really intense.
Yeah. And all they talk about in the special features is what a technological masterpiece the pod race was. But as far as for the story, like, we don't learn anything about how smart or good or bad. It doesn't help us like or hate the character of Anakin anymore. It does nothing to progress the plot. It's a big giant dead zone that's like, look, we actually procedurally generated the course and added textures, and like it's them just talking about how fun it was to sit there at ILM and be like, how could we make all this stuff magically appear, because it was too much to shoot and we couldn't do it like the speeder scene because obviously we've never done just walk slowly and then speed it up. It's literally the speeder scene And they've said, well, we can't possibly make anything like that ever again because that was in a forest and this is in a desert. So
We can't do anything like that.
yeah, they could have just shot it on Earth at one frame for every minute or something, just like they did the speeder scene in Return of the Jedi.
So when you have kids, are you ever going to show them episode 1?
No, I'm not.
Episode
They,
was one
they won't
was
even know.
Built for children.
It really was.
No,
It
because
was to engage the new generation of Star Wars fans.
yeah, but their first thing they ever see is I've had somebody tell me that their favorite movie of all time was Star Wars Episode 1. That's insulting to everything else that's ever been made on film.
They should change the name of it.
To what?
I don't know.
The stupid one. Because
Like it
Star
shouldn't be,
Wars.
it shouldn't be episode 1.
Anakin growing up.
Yeah, it should be something like that where it's not the beginning of it. Where it's not like, oh yeah, you watch season 1 first, and season 2, and
I
season
still
3.
don't understand how in that movie Anakin was like a little boy. Mm-hmm. And in the very next movie when Padme has not grown up at all.
Oh jeez.
yeah, Padme would be like 50 and a chain smoker. She'd be like,
Hello, little Annie. I've missed you so much. Do you?
that would be Padme, just like, holding on to the last vestiges of her youth. And then Anakin would be fresh-faced and bright-eyed and all brooding and angsty. He would be like, he'd walk in, the how Star Wars should have been. She comes up to him and says,
I'm so happy to see little Anakin.
and then he walks in, it's Jaden Smith. That's who should have played Anakin Skywalker, is Jaden Smith. And then it would have been at the very least believable.
You don't think Hayden Christensen did a good job?
A good job killing the movie. I mean, now Baby Anakin was equally as terrible, so I don't like to hate on Hayden Christensen too much.
Baby Anakin, I don't even know who that person is, but I think he did a better job than Hayden Christensen. Like
The baby?
Because the baby is a baby Anakin. Like you can't expect him to like deliver lines like an adult, you know?
So you have higher expectations of Hayden Christensen.
Of course.
But
They were on par, but Hayden Christensen is like 15 years older than this little kid.
he never said like yippee.
Well, that line was in his script. He was reading his script.
So were all of Hayden Christensen's bad lines, and
Well, yeah, but
they're like,
he delivered the yippee very well.
and then he just kept looking like he was holding in a fart the whole movie with his brow furrowed and all concerned.
Which one are we talking
Yeah,
about?
who are we talking about now?
Hayden Christensen, not
Okay.
the kid. The kid was like, I love my mommy. I'm just never going to see her again or mention her until she dies, and then I'll be sad forever. Like, the only reason anybody likes episode 1, because the pod race did nothing. The connection between his mother and him did nothing because we never cared about her, and she was kind of a bump on a log from the get-go. Jar Jar Binks, nobody cared. Qui-Gon Jinn, never seen again. There's all these characters that we never, ever see again or contribute nothing to the entire series, and episode 1 was like this little abbreviated, like, turd on the end of an excellent saga. They were like, so the only thing people bring up as a high point of episode 1 is the battle between the Gungans and the droid army, which is just like an homage to, hey, look, Industrial Light and Magic can make really good special effects. Congratulate. We already knew. We didn't need like a special effects test on film. Like, look, here's our reel if you want to get a job in special
But it
effects.
was a really cool battle.
Yeah,
Yeah, Darth Maul.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. The
Darth Maul,
the
best-
festering boil. The worst part. He acted every scene. He's like, "It's time to kill," and then does nothing. Okay, so he's this. He can't deliver lines. So you never care about him, but he looks cool because he has horns and red makeup
Did
and
he
stuff.
have
never
any
said a
lines?
word.
He never
He did.
had a word.
He did.
No.
He actually talked to his master on the balcony or something. He's like, "Here's the young Jedi." The Emperor guy,
Yeah.
talked to his
Emperor
first
Palpatine.
apprentice. Yeah, he
Spoilers.
goes through apprentices so bad. Like I would be, I would say I'm going to die if I was his apprentice, because everybody who was ever his apprentice just gets their butts handed to them. You have you have Darth Maul who goes in to fight, and it was the first time we had ever seen a double lightsaber, and this is why the kids can't shut up about this movie, is that character had a red face, a black cloak, horns, and a double lightsaber. That's the only thing about this movie that people think is cool.
And when this movie came out, it was really cool to have spiked hair. So,
Oh, yeah.
I
Bleach
mean,
tips.
the horns really went along with that trend.
Yeah. So he basically had spiky hair and demon makeup. And
I just don't know why they didn't have. Why'd they kill off Darth Maul?
Yeah, why'd they cut him in half? Oh, spoilers.
Why'd they kill Rob Roy or Qui-Gon Jinn? Like they could have had him, even though Qui-Gon Jinn defied what Obi-Wan tells Luke, that he was trained by Yoda. So they could have just had him being trained by Yoda. What would that have hurt to had him be Yoda's young Padawan and keep it in sync with what Alec Guinness said in the movie? But they're like, no, we're going to give him a random teacher that's not Yoda for no reason, that's never seen again, only in one movie.
And then Liam Neeson got taken.
Yeah, Liam Neeson got taken. He got taken out before Darth Maul. Then every other time after, he obviously died because his bowels are over there and his head's over there. He got cut in half. So, and
Have
then
you guys
all
seen
they do...
the fan film that was made about Darth Maul?
Yes.
It's really good.
I haven't.
No,
I like it a lot.
it's not good. They're actually coming out with a graphic novel with Darth Maul as the star, which only proves the point. They don't have a Qui-Gon Jinn. Nobody cares about anything else from that movie. Not Baby Anakin, not Watto. Anything else
I really
was
like the
introduced.
pod race.
But nobody cares about any of that. It's just Darth Maul, Darth Maul, Darth Maul. So they're giving him a graphic novel. That was like on the news this week. It was like Darth Maul gets a graphic novel. And both of the cartoons, the Clone Wars and the Rebels, they've both had Robot Legs Darth Maul come back because they have no original ideas to talk about. So all they're doing is like, hey, we have a terrible property that we would like people to watch. Can we just toss Darth Maul in here for no reason? He doesn't really belong. He's never mentioned in any of the canon. You'd think if he kept showing up this much that he would be mentioned in like future media. He would be in like in A New Hope. Like, don't run into Darth Maul because he's that one guy with them robot legs and the demon face. He'll kill y'all.
So he's alive still.
Yeah, in Rebels, which it takes place between the Clone Wars and A New Hope.
So 2.3 point.
Yeah, it's 3.7 or
Isn't
something.
that Rogue One?
No, Rogue One.
That's happening at the same time as this.
Yeah, Rogue One would be like,
That's between episodes 3 and 4.
yes. But so this is
So
after
Darth
Rebels,
Maul is alive during Rogue One.
basically, and
Cool.
not shown because he's not important.
You think they're going to bring him back in episode 12?
And no, because they keep whoring him out. Like you could just have Darth Maul makeup on everybody. I don't know why they haven't made. Who was that big evil chair guy in episode 7?
We talking about
Snoke?
Jabba?
Yeah. I'm surprised Emperor Snoke isn't just Darth Maul with a wound on his face and no legs. It's just Darth Maul in a wheelchair rolling around like, kill the Jedi. And that would be the movie. Yes,
master.
I can't believe Snoke is Darth Maul. That's the secret. Like Rey is Darth Maul's kid. I knew it. That's why she has horns. That would literally be the biggest piece of fan service that's ever happened in the series ever, is to just give us the big bad villain is Darth Maul.
Maybe Rey is Darth Maul's daughter.
Oh my gosh.
That's what it should be.
Everyone thinks it's Luke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone's on board with Luke being Rey's father, but
Or-
no, boom, it's Darth Maul.
I actually heard a theory that her father is Palpatine
Palpatine. I haven't heard that one.
because
like the Sith Lord.
yeah, the actual emperor of the Sith. That's her kid, and that's why he's never coming back because he kind of got thrown down a ventilation shaft.
Oh.
But they left her English accent in, and they took out everybody else's.
Yeah.
So whoever her parents are have an English accent, which leaves us.
It's supposed to be Qui-Gon Jinn. I've heard that.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Oh,
Yeah.
not Qui-Gon. I meant Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, it's either Obi-Wan Kenobi or Emperor Palpatine.
But if it was Obi-Wan Kenobi, she'd be like as old as Luke.
No, he's old.
Luke's pretty old.
I know, but Obi-Wan Kenobi was the generation above Luke.
No, but he's a Jedi. He doesn't like.
Yeah,
his time.
and he remains he's Jedi, so he has like really virile seed. Like he could remain potent until he's like 320 or something.
Well, yeah, but that's
no, he died. Oh, sorry.
He was a ghost.
He actually got chopped in half. Maybe he like ghost seeded her. That's why she's special.
Yeah, but he was like really old.
He was a hologram.
So it's probably not old. Like
Maybe
Like,
it's
I'm gonna have a problem if it's him. I'm gonna be like, no,
Qui-Gon
that doesn't
Jinn's
fit.
maybe
son.
no. It's a clone of Obi-Wan Kenobi, just like X-23 is a clone of Wolverine.
Maybe it's one of the clones from the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
Oh.
A
they-
clone of Boba Fett.
Then they could bring
Or
back the
Jango
cloners.
Fett,
They were
excuse me.
actually pretty cool. The clone people.
Those
Yeah.
were cool.
The little
long
like
neck.
long neck people. Yeah.
Mhm. That's like the realization.
So here's
of,
why Episode 3 is the worst.
Episode 1.
Episode 3.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
So all
That's all you got.
that's it. That's all I needed.
You have 30 seconds of audio.
That you think that was 30 seconds? You're insane.
That was 6.
You're insane. Anyway, so the entire first and second and first half of the third movie were about how powerful and how many midichlorians Anakin Skywalker has. How many times do they reference how many midichlorians Anakin Skywalker has?
During
Many.
the first movie?
He's
Innumerable amounts.
So
he's
many
the
times.
child of promise. They've actually stopped referencing midichlorians ever again in the series. Like J.J. Abrams personally made an effort to kill off that word because it was brought up in episode 1. Everybody hated it because it tried to bring hard science into the Force.
Yeah.
And it's awful, but they do nothing but talk about how powerful and how godforsakenly amazing Anakin is, and that he could just rip everybody's brains out through their nose.
So anyway, Anakin, most powerful Jedi in the whole entire
Ever.
world.
More powerful than
And
Yoda
then-
or Master Windu.
So much more. And then, so there's this epic, super awesome lightsaber battle in a volcano.
Took 45
floating
minutes.
on these like hovering raft things. It was amazing. And
It was
then
okay. The green screen work was not perfect.
To end that lightsaber battle,
Took too long.
freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi
Choked his wife to death.
he jumped off of the floating platform onto like a hill that was 5 feet higher than Anakin was. Anakin was still on
You
the
think it
floating
was really
platform.
5 feet?
It was probably 3.5 feet.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.5 feet. It was
It was about from the floor to the top of this table.
Yeah, it was not very much distance. So Obi-Wan Kenobi
Watch
is
the scene.
3.5 feet,
That's everybody's homework.
3.5 feet higher than Anakin, and he says, "Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground."
Let's hear that again.
Okay, let's do this one more time now that you
One
have
more
some
time.
context.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
So it's over, Anakin. It's over.
It's over.
This fight is done. I have the high ground. I'm 3.5 feet higher than you. Don't even try. I'm like way better now. My midichlorian count has just skyrocketed.
Yours
and then
means nothing.
Anakin does it because he is a way more powerful Jedi, according to everything we've heard for the first 5 hours of this series. And in literally, again, please go watch this because it's so stupid. Literally one swing of Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber, just like from his back over his head to his front, just one swing chops off 3 limbs, 2 legs and an arm.
So Anakin would have had to line up both of his arms and his leg so that somebody could
No,
just
no, 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 no.
take a
2
little
legs
slap
and
chop
1 arm.
and just lop off. Oh yeah, 2 legs. So they would have to go from the legs and then whip it around to the arm that's
Yeah, but there was
conveniently in the
no
way.
If you watch Obi-Wan Kenobi swing, there's no like movement. It's just one one motion, one direction.
And
That's
just
it.
hacks off everything.
And
even
then it's over. That's just how it ends. The whole movie right there. He just falls and then
clang.
yep.
Which
Gosh.
so Anakin was standing there and said, I'm going to jump over this guy with a lightsaber. I'm not going to force push.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force pull. I'm not going to maybe, rip. He's standing on gravel, for goodness sakes. Like you could have force blown on all the gravel into his face.
Yeah. It is The worst scene in cinematic history. And it drives me insane every time I have to even think about it.
Do you really think that scene in an otherwise watchable movie?
Well, Hayden Christensen, boom, roasted. That movie's terrible.
But he has the high ground.
Yeah,
But he
okay,
has the
Jar Jar doesn't say anything in the third movie. He has like one line, I think. He actually says
See,
one.
that's where you and I disagreed. I didn't mind Jar Jar. I saw that movie when I was a kid. I did not have a problem with Jar Jar.
You're an adult now.
Yeah, I know,
Grow
but
up.
it's the reason we all like Ewoks, because we saw that movie when we were a kid.
The Ewoks are fine. Jar Jar Binks is terrible.
That's my point.
The Ewoks show that even if you're little, you can take on an entire empire.
And Jar Jar shows that even if you're an idiot, you could take on a couple droids.
By accident.
Even if you're dumb, you could do the pretty possible, and you could take on really skinny, malnourished. He could take on three C-3POs and 2 R2-D2s.
Yep. And that's
Hopefully.
what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, he lines up, so he cuts off one arm first,
Yeah.
and then both legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would mean that you have to have. At what
And
point does your
also-
armhole align with your leg holes?
Anakin is also flipping through the air.
Yeah. So
Spinning
pointless.
with his lightsaber.
When he could have just thrown his lightsaber, cut them all up, and walked away.
Or
Flown
just
away.
like jumped a little lower onto the hill.
Like
Oh my
kind
gosh.
of.
And then he slides down the hill because it's gravel, which Obi-Wan didn't slide down. So Obi-Wan is keeping himself steady, the Force. And then as soon as he lands, the most powerful Jedi didn't use his Force powers to suck Obi-Wan down with him. Like, enraged,
Yeah.
he didn't do anything to extract
Well, he didn't have his
revenge.
hand there to kind of
He still had a
position
hand.
the force.
He had
That's
a
a
hand.
metal hand.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
already lost that hand.
Yeah.
You could still focus the Force out of a metal hand.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Does it conduct?
It uses your nub
Oh.
at the end of your...
Yeah, Darth did it.
Because the
That
Force
was his
connects
hand.
the
Yeah,
Force
that's
connects
true.
us all.
Darth Vader actually he doesn't have any real limbs anymore.
Yeah.
But you would have like when Yoda moves the big giant spaceship thing, he says that the Force connects like you, me, the rock, the tree, the bats, that vomit over there. Like, he goes down the list of like every single thing he could look at. It's just senile Yoda going, my bed, my dinner, your left shoe, the robot that threw up mud. So he after he's done describing, Luke says, yes, I get it. Everything is connected. So I think an inanimate object like an arm, because it's more like your will.
Yeah, it's like an
being
antenna, I guess. So he did still have that one arm, one hand.
Yeah.
Two.
You could focus your Force powers out of your little bleeding, seared nub,
Yeah.
or you could use your eyeballs to Force power things.
Do you think, because Darth had so many fake limbs, do you think he was breathing so heavy to cover up how noisy his limbs were?
How noise? No, I don't.
That's all the mechanics.
Yeah, just.
I don't think that Darth was trying to cover up his
Because
actuators.
his lungs weren't really affected by this fight.
I think it was mostly like
Yeah,
that
he
mask he was
inhaled all the gas and everything. That's why he wore the breather mask, is because he seared his lungs. Like he's basically General Grievous
That's true.
2.0. And General Grievous is just
Wouldn't
like
he be
lungs in
1.0?
his-
He
no,
was first?
No, well, he's like General Grievous
was he
is
second?
the alpha model, and then Darth Vader is the beta model.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But they were learning how to keep somebody alive that they didn't want to die. In Grievous, they were like, let's give him bad lungs instead of not giving him lungs at all and just having his blood be oxygenated to whatever's in there. I don't even know what his little suit was keeping alive.
Yeah.
What
Well,
were
it's
the
weird that he
buttons
was
on the
like
front?
he was like all robot.
Yeah, there was like a stomach
Yeah.
and then like a...
Why not just like make him a robot?
Yeah.
Maybe that was in front here.
Or like was his brain in his chest?
Was that a heart?
Something. Yeah, so they kept his heart for no reason. Again, you could have a machine oxygenate blood. So General Grievous was a heart for no reason, and then 4 robot arms. Like wouldn't you put it completely encased in steel? If
Yeah,
you're
why would
gonna
you
make-
like leave all these gaps for lasers to get in?
Whoa, look, there's somebody's heart. I should shoot that. Like, you'd have a big giant bullseye on your... And he couldn't he couldn't focus the force, so he just had a whole pile of lightsabers, and then when he spun them around really fast, somebody with one lightsaber, that's the most inconceivable part of the entire series. When General Grievous, spinning around 4 lightsabers, was able to get one of his arms chopped off by somebody with a lightsaber. They were all overlapping and everything, and he's spinning them around like helicopter blades, and he just goes like, and
Yeah, but he has
flicks
the
off
force,
one of
so
his
he
arms.
could like get in there real easily.
Oh my gosh, that's the dumbest
So
part of the whole
for
movie.
the same reason that I could block a laser, I can get through a lightsaber that some guy is spinning around.
I know, but there's 4 of them. Like,
I don't care. There's a laser that's traveling at literally the speed of light.
they don't travel at the speed of light because we watch them. The blaster bolts don't go at the speed of light.
They're lasers.
Like they would just cause an explosion on the other end if they're at the speed of light.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even see them travel, which we do all the time.
That's just special effects in the movie to make it look cooler, but a laser travels at the speed of light.
They're not... Blaster bolts are not lasers. They're particle weapons.
Well, they're going real fast.
They're going real fast, but they're definitely accelerated
It's definitely at least as hard as it would be to chop a bullet in half with a sword.
Do you think they made his suit
Who are we
less
talking about?
powerful?
Wait, which suit? Grievous?
No,
Darth Vader.
Do you think it made him less powerful on
The Pink
purpose?
Power Ranger?
No, his suit was supposed to make him like cool and stuff. Like, it keeps him alive because he was in that little black egg at the beginning of episode or Empire Strikes Back where he's getting healed and stuff, and he has his hat off. Apparently, his skin itches terribly. I didn't know that, but he. So
Does he just have like an itching machine in there, just like scratching him?
Oh man,
It's just like those water massagers.
just all the time being itchy. Like, that would be your own personal hell.
Does he use the force to itch himself?
I would just not move ever again and have just scratching robots caress my skin and put balm on me. That would be just
one of my least favorite words.
Balm.
Balm.
you're trying to fight. You're trying to kill your own son and like hack his arm off and stuff. And you're like, dude, could you just like scratch my back or something? Like, that's the only reason I want you to join the dark side is because I'm like super itchy.
I wonder if there's like a back scratcher lightsaber.
Yeah.
Back scratcher.
What do you think that Darth would, with all of his power, he wouldn't be like, I at least want a better suit that allows me to move her? Because you look at him fighting and everything. They had 3 people in that Darth Vader suit.
Like
Serious?
operating it?
Like, there was the guy that did
At one time.
There was the guy that fought, and then there was the guy that did like, you know how Darth Maul was the stunt coordinator, the lightsaber coordinator?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
They took the guy that was teaching people how to use swords and sticks and bow staves, and they just said, hey, do you want to be a character? And that's how we got Darth Maul.
Sick. That's why
cool.
he's so cool.
Yeah, that's why he's so terrible at acting.
That's why they had to kill him off quick.
Yeah,
That's why
they're-
he has no lines.
Yeah, because he did have lines, and they were bad. But you had but with Darth Vader, they just swapped out the actor for the guy that did the most of the scenes. He was like 6'8" or 6'10" or 7
He's
foot.
a big boy.
Yeah. So he was like 6'7" or something. And then there was a Olympian fencing instructor.
Oh.
He was like a world champion fencer, and they had him teach everybody to do. And then they said, just get in the Darth suit and be Darth. But then he was like 5'8" instead of 6'10". So Darth was in lifts for the fight scenes. Like his feet had like stilts underneath them, so he could be even close to it. He was like a foot taller than Luke, and then when he fights, they're like eye to eye. Yeah, or it's all George's fancy camera work. But that's
Well, and then there's his voice actor as well.
yeah. But Darth Vader took like 8 people to just make Darth as scary and imposing as he was in the movie.
And then there's Anakin.
And then there's Anakin. Yeah. So,
But by far my most favorite character in all of the Star Wars films. Jabba the Hutt.
Why was he your favorite?
I just love his business
Because he
model.
eats frogs? He eats frogs. I
No,
love
I mean,
frog eating.
His business model is just freaking amazing.
And the slave horse, the giant
I'm just
monsters.
gonna lay here and have people feed me and
I do
just
nothing.
like do everything, and I just gonna lay here.
He had back scratchers.
He definitely had back scratchers.
We couldn't reach.
He had like little rats running around him.
Yeah, scratching him.
As slaves.
And like if you mess with him, he just like dropped you into a pit with like a big old thing down there that was gonna like eat you.
So that's your Star Wars hero?
Guys
is
making
Jabba
automation.
the Hutt?
Jabba the Hutt.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
He's a giant walking snot bubble.
How did he get onto that other ship?
He gets moved.
Yeah, he was on that little rolling tablet thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it moves around.
He has a hover chair.
It's kind of like the Thanos chair, except it's just a slab of rock with
It's like
casters.
Wally.
Yeah.
Yep.
He just
Like the
gets-
people from
exactly
Wall-E.
what it
Yes,
is.
Yep.
he is the people from Wall-E. That's step 3 in Wall-E is they turn into huts. That's when the rest of their bones finally decay. They just become a Wookie Chuaki Kugaka. That's what they turn into. That's what English ends up as in the future long ago.
We go from going February
In the
and
past and the future.
library to
Yeah. He
just grunting at each other.
that's
it all
what
starts
we
here.
devolve into.
That's why we're doing this. That's why we're correcting this.
We're helping people evolve
So we don't
into
have
Jabba
to,
the Hutt.
No.
Gotta fix them. Fix them while we can.
Yeah. Eat potato chips while you listen to this, kids.
Yep.
But
Makes you
sure-
strong.
Make sure to soak your beans.
Soak your beans.
Gives you less flatulence.
Don't breathe. Oh, golly. Okay, well, this has been another episode of You Don't Even Know. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
If you have any questions or topics you want us to talk about, go ahead and email us at ydekcast@gmail.com. That's YDEK cast@gmail.com.
I mean, you better email us. Only if you have the high ground.
Or if you think that episode 1 is actually worse than episode 3 because it's all terrible as opposed to one bad scene. It's still the worst, Josiah.
Don't email us saying that 4, 5, and 6 are the best and 7's so good. We already
Episode
know
5
that.
is the very best movie of all time.
Well, actually, go ahead. Let us know which one is the best, because 7 is clearly the best.
7's okay.
We never talked about Flash Forward. We said that we were going to talk about that next time.
We'll
Hey,
hit up
Flash Forward's really good.
Yeah,
You should
everybody watch
watch it.
Flash Forward.
Yep, go watch it.
Go watch
Study up, and then next time we'll talk about it. I hope. Maybe we'll get there.
it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a lovely time.